Good morning and welcome to All Faiths Unitarian Congregation's Sunday service. This morning is November 29th. I'm the Rev CJ McGregor and I will be leading our service today, and our message will be offered by the chair of our board of directors, Chris Stotler. Here at All Faiths you will find a diverse and inclusive spiritual community where we welcome people with many beliefs. You can bring your whole self, your full identity, your questioning mind, and expansive hearts. At All Faiths, we have more than one way of experiencing the sacred and understanding the world. No matter who you are, Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, and no matter whom you love, you are always welcome here at All Faiths. I have a few announcements this morning. Please check your newsletter and your email and Facebook page for upcoming events. Reminder that the Climate Action Team has a 1:30 meeting on December 1st via Zoom. And we have Teaching Tuesdays coming up for the second, third, and fourth Tuesdays of December. So please check your calendar for those. We have the Religious Education Youth Social Hour, where anyone from the congregation can join Mary Corrigan and our youth for the first half hour of their gathering at 7 o'clock on Wednesdays. We also have News Talk every Sunday, beginning at 9 a.m. on Zoom. And we have Coffee Hour on Thursdays at 11:30 and Sundays at 11:30. So please consider joining us. And again, watch your email for announcements. Let us now sing hymn number 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In.
Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Open your hearts, everyone. Change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. There's some squirrels.
Please join in reciting our Chalice Lighting words, which are printed in your order of service as I light the chalice. We kindle this flame with appreciation and gratitude for all the blessings that fill our lives. There is no youth religious education today, so the youth are welcome to stay and remain in our service. I have a few joys and sorrows this morning, and remember that while we're apart, we still have the opportunity to share our joys and sorrows with the congregation. Simply pass them on to me and I will share them in our Sunday service. If you see Emmy Spiller, congratulate her. She has a part in a local play, and those who have seen it says she is excellent. So congratulate Emmy Spiller. We keep in our hearts people recovering from COVID in our congregation. We also keep Janine Martin and her family in our hearts. Janine recently had an accident and she is now hospitalized and being moved to hospice. We keep in our hearts Chris Stotler and his family, his mother. His mom was hospitalized recently for a fall at home, and Chris will be traveling to visit her and be with his family. So please keep them in mind. Susan Anthony has had surgery this week, so please keep her in your heart as she recovers. And we'd like to celebrate some birthdays. Jane Broadstone, Barbara Geiser, Sharon Gray, and Scott Kilhefner. Happy birthday. Please join in singing hymn number 123, Spirit of Life.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea. Hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
I'd like to ask everyone to close their eyes, take a deep breath, and let us turn our hearts and our minds to our service this morning. Let us join in a few moments of silence. Our opening words this morning are adapted from Israel Zangwill. Come into this circle of love and of justice, and come into this community of mercy, of blessing, holiness, and health. Come, and you shall know peace and joy. It is good to be together this morning. Our reading this morning is titled On Gratitude by David Howenstein. He writes, when we question whether or not we are worthy of something, it is important at that time to shift into gratitude. We all know what it's like to finally get something we want, only to find ourselves feeling as if we don't deserve it. Whether it's a car, a new job, or a date with someone wonderful, we suddenly feel as if we are not up to it. And something in us wants to reject this gift from the universe, perhaps because it requires that we think of ourselves in a new way, or it makes us question why we should have something that others don't have. If these feelings of unworthiness are not consciously acknowledged, they can lead us to sabotage ourselves out of the gift being offered. Perhaps the best way to avoid rejection and sabotage is to simply shift into a state of gratitude, bypassing the question of worthiness altogether. The question of whether we or anyone else deserves something is not really in our jurisdiction. These themes play themselves out in ways we can't fully comprehend. And on the level of the soul, over the course of many different lifetimes, what we do know is that the universe has its own way of shifting the balance over the course of time so that all things are ultimately fair. We can trust in this process and understand that when a gift comes our way, it is because we are meant to have it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be available to us. And accepting the gift with gratitude and using it to the best of our ability is true humility. When we receive the gift and find feelings of unworthiness crop up, we can simply acknowledge the feelings and then remind ourselves that they are beside the point. We might say to ourselves, I am meant to have this. And as we allow ourselves to accept the gift, we might feel tenderness in our hearts that naturally shifts into a deep feeling of gratitude. As we sit for a moment, consciously holding the gift in our hands or in our hearts, we say yes. Yes to the universe's many blessings. And we also say, thank you. And so ends the reading.
Gray skies are gonna clear up, put on a happy face, brush off the clouds and cheer up, put on a happy face, take off the gloomy mask of tragedy, it's not your style. You look so good that you'll be glad you decided to smile. Pick out a pleasant outlook, stick out that noble chin, wipe off that full of doubt look, slap on a happy grin, and spread sunshine all over the place. Just put on a happy face. Put on a happy face. Put on a happy face. And if you're feeling cross and bickerish, don't sit and whine. Think of banana splits and licorice and you'll feel fine. I knew a girl so gloomy, she'd never laugh or sing. She wouldn't listen to me, now she's a mean old thing. So spread sunshine all over the place and put on a happy face.
Please join in our hymn number 68, Come, Ye Thankful People. The words are printed at the bottom of your order of service.
Come, ye thankful people, come, raise a song of harvest home. Fruit and crops are gathered in, safe before the
thankful for the half-full glass during unexpected changes. As our opening song says, don't be afraid of some change. We need to embrace change with an open mind and see the positive in change. A positive attitude affects our outlook on life. Socrates says, the secret of change is to focus all of our energy not on the old, but on building the new. Wayne Dyer, a motivational speaker, says that if you change the way that you look at change, what you look at will change. In making decisions related to unexpected or even expected change, the key is seeking to find the positive, seeing the half-full glass. Today, I will discuss how my winemaking relates to decision-making when facing change. I will share some of the unexpected changes in my life and how I responded and benefited from them. I'll also discuss the changes here at All Faith that we can be thankful for. At All Faith, I am thankful we have a half-full glass. We are not focused on the glass half empty. As some of you may know, I am a winemaker. Well, I was until we moved full-time to Florida. I've done a lot of wine tasting and trying to perfect my hobby. I call it my educational process. In tasting and drinking wine, you do not want a full glass. You want it to be half full so that you can swirl the wine. Allowing it to breathe and release the wine's aroma so you get a fuller taste and increase your enjoyment of that wine. Making decisions while facing change is a lot like that glass of wine. We need to swirl our potential reactions around, giving ourselves time to breathe. That is, pausing long enough to gather other input. Have time to think through the consequences and allow the situation to stabilize. Every fall, when the grapes have matured and I've picked bushels of fragrant, juicy fruit from a vineyard, I would imagine the end product, anticipating tasting that full-bodied, aromatic wine and enjoying it with friends. Sometimes, however, unforeseen complications arose during the process, and I had to make changes. Sometimes the juice from the freshly crushed grapes tasted thin, and I knew the end product would not be what I desired. It would be lacking the body and some of the bouquet that I liked. So, to obtain a more full-bodied wine, I would allow it to sit on the skins and pulp during the fermentation process for an extra week or two. This extended maceration allowed the juice to absorb more flavor and tannins, thus improving the quality of the wine. But you can't leave it on those skins and pulp too long, or contaminants may cause problems or even result in bitterness. Allowing more time is sometimes beneficial when making decisions. Rather than making a decision with the initial information available, you sometimes need to let the issue sit, gather more input, and get a better understanding of the issue. But don't let the process drag out too long. Your All Faith Board of Directors took this approach in making a recent decision. At our September meeting, we started discussing a proposal to create a new staff position, the Director of Youth Religious Education. This position was proposed because the needs of our youth religious education program was expanding. We agreed on the importance of the RE program for our youth and the benefit that would come to the church through a more robust RE program. We didn't agree on the timing, how the position would be paid for, what the short-term and long-term impact to our budget would be, and whether we should get more input from the congregation. We needed more time and input before making a decision. Therefore, we referred the proposal to the Finance Committee to gather more financial information and budget impact information and other input they could provide. Then at our October meeting, we swirled the issues around, hearing opinions from all of the board members, discussing all sides of the issue associated with the proposal. We made a compromise decision to increase the hours for the religious education consultant, a position that was approved at the last annual meeting of All Faiths. This compromise provided the increased hours needed for the expanded RE program through the remainder of this fiscal year. We did not approve the new staff position at this time. We're leaving that decision to the congregation at the next annual meeting. Meanwhile, we have the time to further analyze the needs of the religious education program, the number of hours required, and the budget impacts. I believe strongly in setting goals and planning. It gives you a roadmap for making decisions. I set career and financial saving goals early in my life. Achieving these goals has helped me live comfortably in retirement. One of the goals I set was to have the option of not working full-time by the time I was 55 years old. I realized I had met this goal when my position at a large engineering firm was unexpectedly cut. Yes, I was 55 at that time. Rather than accept a position with another large firm, I successfully started an independent consulting business. I soon realized I liked helping small businesses more than large firms. Eventually, I went to work full-time for a small firm where I had the satisfaction of knowing that I could have a greater impact on their success. My clearly established goals allowed me to make decisions throughout my career. At All Faiths, I hope we can resume our strategic planning process soon. We had a good draft before COVID put the planning process on hold. Obviously, it will need some modifications for the current and post-COVID environment. My retirement has not unfolded as I had anticipated. For example, Marcia and I planted a vineyard and an orchard as a few years before retiring. We thought this would be a good retirement activity. We also considered starting a commercial winery. However, once retired, we reevaluated how we wanted to use our time. We did not convert our hobby winery into a business, although I continued to make a lot of wine and enjoyed helping other home winemakers make wine from our grapes. In the past few years, we've realized that we needed to retire from our retirement activity, the orchard and the vineyard. Who wants to leave Florida in the middle of February or early March to spend 2 weeks or more in Ohio pruning grapevines and apple trees in snow and rain and 30-degree weather? So we sold the farm. I now have plenty of pruning to do in my Florida home as well as here at Allface. The lesson learned: don't be afraid of change. You may lose something good, but gain something better. I'm glad I embraced some unexpected opportunities. I never expected to be asked to serve as the congregation's vice president in 2018, because I never thought of myself as being that involved in our church. And I certainly didn't expect that I would become the chairperson of the board within a few months after taking the office of vice president. I said yes when asked because this church is important to me. Serving in this position has been rewarding. Yes, it is time-consuming, but the rewards of knowing that I am helping our beloved community is worth it. I am so grateful that this opportunity to serve was unexpectedly provided to me, and I said yes. If you are asked to serve our congregation in some way, I hope you say yes. I am sure that you'll be very pleased with the rewards of serving. COVID has required changes at Allface, and some of these changes will continue for years. We may never go back to the pre-COVID normal. We could look at these changes through the lens of the half-empty glass, moaning about not being able to be together in our services, not having our fundraisers, not being able to share coffee together after the service, etc., etc. Instead, let's be thankful for our half-full glass, the positive things that have evolved at Allface during the past 8 months. Let me point out a few. For one thing, we learned how to successfully live stream services and post services on YouTube. We're thankful that we have had more viewerships than we ever expected. We have actually had visitors who want to join Allface, and their only real connections have been through the social media. We plan to continue recording the services even after we're back together, because we see this as an important outreach and opportunity for growth. Another positive thing is that we've been able to stay more connected with our Snowbird members, especially via Zoom coffee hours and other meetings. We're more connected than we ever were in the past when we wouldn't see them for 6 months or more. We have learned that many meetings can be effectively conducted virtually. Some future meetings may be held by Zoom instead of all the meetings being here at the church, because some people may be more willing to serve on a committee if they know that they can attend by their computer on Zoom than having to drive into the church. Even with no in-person services, we have remained financially healthy. Although revenues are down, the reduction is less than feared. Many congregants have increased their giving during these troubling times, which is a good sign for future stewardship. Despite the COVID situation, we are seeing an increase in youth participation and interest in our youth religious education program. The expanded program is critical to the future of our congregation. With a robust youth program, we will attract younger families who put a high priority on the availability and quality of youth religious education. This may prove to be the most important change that we have made this church year. I believe we will emerge from COVID stronger than ever. Our members are thankful for the extra efforts made by our minister, staff, and volunteers. As a result, I think we will support stewardship and other aspects of our congregation at a higher level than ever before. The year 2020 may prove to be a milestone year in the long-term growth and stability of our congregation. We look forward with a positive attitude rather than focusing on the negative of COVID-forced changes. We can be thankful that we have a half-full glass attitude. We are blessed to have this spiritual retreat. My closing thoughts. Changes, especially unexpected changes, can be frightening. They force us to change. Karen Salmson, a self-help book author, says, "There is a problem you face after becoming a butterfly. What will the caterpillars say? Will they make you feel guilty or weird for the changes you've made? Never mind the caterpillar chatter. Just spread your wings and fly high." So, my fellow all-faith congregants, let's spread our wings and fly. May it be so.
I want to thank everyone who has supported this congregation financially. We appreciate your offerings, your donations to help us pay our staff, to help us live our mission in our community. And if you are listening from this afar to this message today, we would appreciate your support as well. Please donate or make your offering by mailing it to the congregation or going to our website. That information is printed on your screen. The morning offering will now be given and received.
So long sad times, go along bad times. We are rid of you at last. Howdy gay times, cloudy gray times. You are now a thing of the past. Happy days are here again. The skies above are clear again. So let's sing a song of cheer again. Happy days are here again. All together, shout it loud, there's no doubt it now. So let's tell the world about it now. Happy days are here again. Your cares and troubles are gone. There'll be no more from now on. From now on, happy days are here again. The skies above are clear again. So let's sing a song of cheer again. Happy times, happy nights, happy days are here again.
Go in peace, live gently, at home in yourselves. Act justly, speak justly, and remember the depth of your own compassion. Forget not your power in the days of your powerlessness. Speak the truth or speak not. Take care of yourselves as bodies, for you are a good gift. Crave peace for all people in the world, beginning with yourselves, and go as you go with the dream of that peace alive in your heart. Blessed be.
Here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note, but don't worry. Be happy. In every life we have some trouble. When you worry, you make it double. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Ain't got no place to lay your head. Somebody came and took your bed, but don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Landlord says the rent is late. May have to litigate, but don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy now. Ain't got no cash, ain't got no style, ain't got no girl to make you smile, but don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy now. Cause when you worry, your face will frown, and that will bring everybody down. But don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy now. Don't worry, be happy.
I'd like to thank everyone who had a hand in bringing us this service this morning. Regina Kilmartin and the Sunday Services team for everything they do to help us bring you this service every Sunday. to Joseph and Nancy for their music and their voices, and to Chris Stotler for his message. And I'd like to thank you. I'd like to thank you for joining us this morning. Please join in the words printed in your order of service as I extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world.